Hello and welcome back to the SNHU Esports Arena. My name is Shirley, joined here with Palsy of the Overwatch team. What are you doing here?
Uh, they didn't stop me.
I guess that's true. No one stopped you.
I don't know. I did walk in today. I walked in and I sat down.
All right. Well, and you just wanted to join us for some Smash
Yeah,
tonight, our double
yeah,
header
yeah.
tonight,
Uh,
blue and yellow playing.
Smash is one of those games that I really like, and I'm not very good at. So I really appreciate the ability to cast some good stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, if you like a game and you're not good at it, you might as well just cast it. That's why I cast every game.
So true.
You get started out here. We got the Queen's Golden Guild versus SNHU. Steven starting off representing SNHU. Currently getting caught up on this platform here. A nice hit. He's gonna knock off that. Did get a little bit of space, but that banana's still getting pressure even when both are holding block.
Yeah, it's really oppressive. What can you do? You got to be very careful around that banana.
Ooh. Nice little combo there in the F smash to read the comeback in. Steven's going to be able to be up a stock here as Jackson is back down to 0%. Steven with that grab. And he grabbed himself as he beat that banana once again for Diddy. And you really, like you said, have to respect that banana. Those items just give you so much pressure for absolutely free. They're such strong projectiles. Mario's got it. The fireballs are decent projectiles, but nothing compared to having an actual item that you can play around with and do all the things that come around with that. But Steven picking up some nice damage here on this platform here. We're looking to continue to throw out those up airs, pick up some more damage. F smash just barely not connecting. Would have been a very dangerous hit there. Gonna slip on a banana, but mostly fine here. Gets the grab into the back there, looking to try and confirm into the spike, but not going to miss it. Steven now has to try and land on the stage into Jackson. That might be a little bit tough here, but will be able to get his boots on the ground. But he will get taken out there.
I think I just saw, what, 3-4 up smashes in the span of maybe 2 seconds. Is that what happened there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, it happens sometimes. They're just, you know, they're good options.
I mean, I do it too. I didn't realize I was, you know, that was a strat.
And sometimes, you know, the unexpected strategy is to keep doing the same thing over and over.
Fair enough. Yeah, this banana's really just been a thorn in Steven's side. You got to play so careful about it, because if you slip on it and grip like that, that's a really great punish for an opportunity for a punish.
Yeah, a big opening there for a combo.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Nice hit there from Steven once again. Going to take a stock off of Jackson. Now comes right back down. Steven still holding on. 60% is a pretty healthy life lead here. He's definitely not in any sort of danger, but that monkey flip will be a little bit of damage there. We'll slip on the banana once again, but a perfect parry on that down tilt. Tries to come back in. Jackson just trying to get control of the stage here. Needs to be able to find a nice hit here on Steven to put him into a state where he needs to try and play around the disadvantage, but now it's going to be Steven on the ledge here. That two-frame not going to connect. Jackson trying to come back up. Will be able to get some hits off the ledge here. Steven at 103%. Able to come back down. He's able to touch the ledge here. And now Jackson's the one who's right back here. The up smash not going to connect, but the up there will, as he continues just tack on damage barely. Not finding these big hits that he needs.
The pressure from those bananas just wasn't coming out. Steven got control of one, and it just spiraled for a little bit there. Now we're back to a bit of a neutral game here.
I am so shocked he actually got back to stage. He's maneuvered straight past Jackson here. Now, he still got the banana here. Will end up taking a little bit of a hit there as he is punished from the throw, but he comes back up. A parry, and it's going to go wide. Both of them fail to punish, but it's just going to be a solid little back air there from Steven to close out this first round here. SNHU take a few stocks. Steven, I believe, is down one at the moment, but that's still a good lead for SNHU.
Yeah, you're happy with just taking one stock there. But at the same time, you're also happy for only losing one stock. It's a good situation there. No theatrics on that ending.
Yeah,
just a good, clean win.
Just a solid gameplay, right? Just the consistency is kind of key when it comes to a lot of things, especially in crew battles where it's really an endurance test. You got to go through. You got to run the gauntlet. You have to just be. You know, you can't be like a player who pops off only sometimes.
Yeah, you're going through the Herculean trials there.
Yeah,
like
you got to have such a strong base to work with.
Yeah, the thing I noticed was even when the Queen's Gaels were getting momentum there in that game, when Jackson was getting the momentum, Steven was so good at just playing it slow, taking it moment by moment, and sort of stifling the bleeding there, just sort of being able to regain control
Yeah, 100%, and that's kind of something that's key here. I mean, that's why we see Steven usually being played near the beginning of SNHU Blues roster for Smash Bros. Normally, he's kind of starting things out a little bit, getting a feel for things because he's a player who definitely, if he's in the right headspace and he's playing well today, he can just go on a streak through multiple players there because he is just a very solid, consistent player.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, no big lightning strike on the last hit, but
Yeah,
it works.
yeah,
As cool as it is to see the funny forward aerial move, like getting those stocks is just the most important thing at the end of the day.
yeah. I mean, just having, it might not be flashy, but just playing kind of safe and going for your low risk,
Yeah.
even if they're lower reward options, still is better than
Yeah.
potentially getting punished off of missing something big like an F smash that goes wide or
Absolutely.
something like that. I mean, especially also kind of talking about how Steven is generally a starter. Looking at Mario, doesn't have many bad matchups, and I think that's another great thing as well. You can kind of just send him out there. He can scout out a few players, and then he won't. He's not going to run into too much that really gives him like a ton of trouble.
Yeah, you're right.
And now, I'm interested to see who we go up against next because my favorite thing about crew battles is you kind of get players who can be a little bit more character specialists, right? Like when you see someone who plays in a tournament, they'll obviously have like their main character, but they might have like a secondary or a third character just to cover their first character's bad matchups, or just maybe if they feel like changing things up. In a crew battle, you can really specialize in what makes your character good because if there's a bad matchup ahead of you, they just won't put you into it.
Yeah.
And so we get to see a lot of really interesting picks. We've seen more than our fair share of Little Mac last week.
Yeah, you're right. I never thought I'd live to see the day
Yeah,
that I'd see a Little Mac in collegiate esports. But
Mac versus Mac. I think that they might have eventually regretted it because I think we did end up losing the set because we tried to match their Mac, who was actually really good.
No regrets. No regrets.
That's true. Just getting the Mac out there is all you really need. But, I mean, looking forward here, also, the rest of SNHU Blues roster is not going to get any easier for the Queen's Gaels as they continue to push through it, right? You've got, like, Steven on Mario, even if you manage to get him out of the way, which, he's generally not the kind of player to just go on, like, 12-plus stock streaks, right? He'll generally be able to, take down 2 or 3, but, very much just kind of like a nice, solid starter so you can figure out what exactly the enemy team is kind of made of. And then the rest of SNHU Blues team is all just really, really phenomenal players. Like, you've got some really great players. You've got Insignia, Rotten, Crust, Quackers, and even though only 4 of those players will be in at a time, because crew battles, 4 versus 4, so one of those players will be benched for one of the sets. They'll be able to change in between sets, but, it's still a very big pool of characters and a very big pool of talent.
Absolutely. That's the thing I've always been impressed by our Smash team in particular. It seems like we've always had very, very good players. Obviously, many alumni now of the team have gone on to be incredibly prolific players. Some even coaching the current team, and the talent is still here, even with so many of those alumni moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think especially also for SNHU is that they are very, kind of in touch with the local Smash community. We see SNHU Blue in particular going out to almost every single local that happens nearby, and so you'll see a lot of the time they bring out people from these locals to kind of participate on the team or just get them acquainted. And I think that's why you see just so many good players here because a lot of these players probably became aware of SNHU through going to locals and then seeing like, oh hey, Insignia's there or Cableup's there,
and
right?
Granite State Grind is definitely a big part of that too.
Absolutely.
That event is getting bigger and bigger, and it's really cool to watch it develop.
Yeah, first Granite State Grind of this year, it went pretty well in terms of attendance. A lot of people showed up. We got to see a lot of familiar faces as well that we got to see on the last month at the end of last semester. So I'm hoping to see, hopefully the next Granite State Grind is just as big, if not even bigger. I want to see that event really, really succeed.
Yeah.
I am hearing from Queen's Gale, their next player coming up is a Pokemon trainer player.
Well, now the big question is, who are they going to roll out on?
I feel like most Pokemon trainers are pretty content to roll out with that Squirtle. He's a really great option to start off with when you're 0-0 in stock. Squirtle's so good at just building up percentage so fast.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what do you? I mean, like when you play Pokemon Trainer, do you stick to a specific Pokemon or do you switch between them?
I know that this is not a not the most effective thing in the world to do at all times. I'm a big fan of the down B spot dodge. type deal.
Okay. No,
That's a good deal.
absolutely.
Gets me punished more often than I'd like because my timing
no.
could be a lot better than it is.
But it's so cool when it
it's
works.
so cool.
And it's kind of dumb that it does work like that.
It's
but
kind of sick.
It's a little silly. But I mean, Pokemon Trainer, I think one of the biggest benefits is, when you do have 3 characters that are all pretty solid in their own right, aside from Charizard's probably the worst one, but he still has his decent upsides to him. He's still got good tools to work with, and you bring him out in some edge cases, but mostly Squirtle and Ivysaur are just so good at just rounding out your sort of team composition.
Absolutely. I think that character dynamic is so cool. Just being able to swap, especially since there's a heavyweight in there.
Yeah.
I know he's absolutely not the best out of the trio, but when you're really desperate to just stay living, that extra weight is definitely a big boon.
You do usually see Charizard come out when people are high percentage, and that does help kind of weigh you down and keep you in the game for longer. But also that rage on Charizard's hits is just going to make him hit even harder. And also, if you're already at 150%, why not just throw out Flare Blitz? You'll take recoil damage, but what's the point? It's like, oh, you went from 150 to 170. Who cares?
Knockback's going to be about the same either way.
Yeah, you're dead if you get hit by something big. So what does it really matter?
Yeah, just don't get breathed on.
Yeah, hopefully. But also, you see it looking at Ivysaur. We talked about how Squirtle's really good early on, and Charizard is pretty good later on if you've gone really far into your stock. Ivysaur is just a really solid character all around. I would say there's never a bad time to be playing against Ivysaur. He's got great hitboxes. He's got great kind of ledge play, and just a lot of really solid options. So I'm excited to see how this match plays out. Steven, you will be down a stock versus the Golden Gaels here.
Indeed. That crouch walk back, such a good animation. So much character in this game.
Especially on the Pokemon characters. I feel like they're all very much expressive versions of these characters.
They get plenty of love.
Steven already building up some nice damage here and get a good combo off of the ledge here. Just throwing out some zoning air normals, just continuing to play on this ledge. Ivysaur going to come out, does get stuffed on the recovery there. We're going to jump up with the Nair to get some big damage on the platform there. We need to get attacking to the down air. The spike just a little bit threatening, just reminding Boone that spike does exist.
Yeah, it's very interesting seeing Steven now adapting to not having that banana in his face at all times. He's able to go a lot more aggressive into this Pokemon trainer than he was into the Diddy.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because Diddy is so good at zoning you out, really, Pokemon Trainer is definitely. Oh! Okay, yeah, just throw a little bit, throw a little bit of jab, throw a little bit of tilts, and then just hit him with an F smash. All right, just didn't expect it coming out there, and Boone gonna eat a stock there. Steven continues to maintain the lead. He's getting a little bit high up there, but he's still building up some damage. Still getting him up on the platform, finding those nice up airs, bringing him up to 33%. Almost got a shield punish there, but gonna clash. Awkward position for both of them to be in, but Steven's gonna be the one now on the disadvantage.
This might be a little tough here, but able to get back on stage.
That was an awkward play off the ledge there with the Ivysaur Nair, but looks like Boone is still able to get back up, still play around this. Won't be able to get that money on the ledge he's looking for, but now Steven's going to be able to tack on even more damage with these up airs. He just cannot land the up B. It's going to take him up even higher. Of course, not off the top quite yet, but there's that spike coming through. It's just so threatening. Mario's spike is just so forward that you really got to be careful with that. And that Flare Blitz is going to get punished here. Push him right back off the ledge.
Yeah, that Flare Blitz, real risky move. If you can hit it, then that's a stock. But if you can't, then that's what, 40% now? Something in that ballpark.
Yeah, it's definitely a costly option here, but Steven is still hanging on 150%. Definitely against Charizard's a little bit scary. The back throw is going to buy him a lot of space to work with here, and we'll see if he actually wants to play off the ledge. It looks like he's going to try and play for the hit-up game here on the ledge. Going to find some nice blocks there on the shield, but not going to be able to get the punish out as Boone's able to take a stock off of Steven, who's now down to his final. Boone at 125%, still has 2 stocks left. A lot of life that Steven has to chew through, but he's got a fresh stock to work with here, although that is slowly becoming more and more damage as Boone finds these hits.
Yeah, you're going to have to, reevaluate those Flare Blitzes earlier. If there was a time for them, I think it would be now rather than then. Just get that early kill. Whereas one good move from Steven here is going to end this round.
Oh, he's able to get the throw into the back throw and will be able to kill barely. It looked like he was going to decelerate fast enough to not die there, but go off the side, and that's a stock for Steven.
I don't know. I think that percent, that 40%, might have made the difference potentially.
Yeah, throwing up those two layer blitz that didn't work, definitely a costly option for sure. But Boone down to his final stock here. Even if Steven falters here, even if he falls right now, that's still a pretty hefty stock lead for SNHU. Which Boone at the moment, I mean, things are pretty even.
Yeah.
Steven's been able to make up a ton of
This
ground.
game is dead even now. Percent, like, oh! What a punish.
Okay, yeah, sure. Just throw that out there. Get that done. Just hit him on the ledge with your F smash there. Hit the 2-frame. Nicely done from Steven. And that's going to be another player down from Queen's Gaels. Steven now's taken half of the roster out. And so, I mean, he's down to his last stock at the moment, but that's still going to be a lot of room that he's bought for his team to play pretty comfortably from here on out.
So, what I'm seeing here is that Steven has lost 2 stocks, taken down 2 people.
Yes. So we'll see what he does with this last stock.
Yeah,
I mean,
this last stock could go pretty hard.
He has lost 1 stock in the middle of each of these games, so he can't lose a stock once again. But I mean, definitely he's proven that he's been able to get some nice damage in.
Yeah,
and I'd be surprised if he doesn't take at least 1 stock.
Especially that last stock.
Yes,
that last stock was a dominant one.
That was really surprising to see how much ground he had made up so fast. It was just like. He barely had taken any damage. He was just commanding so much space over the stage and controlling that area, which was so huge, especially against Pokemon Trainer. That's a hard character to control space against.
What's that? You had an 80% lead? Huh?
Sorry, it's gone.
Don't think I heard you right.
Yeah.
You wanna check that?
It's dead even now, actually, and things are a little bit weird now.
What's that? 2-frame on ledge with the F smash? Oh,
sorry. It's been known to happen, unfortunately, for Queen's Gaels. But now that they're down to their final 2, it's going to be interesting to see how they play this, because these are ideally they're getting down to their anchors at the moment. These are the players that are really capable of playing in these sort of clutch situations and in these very these situations they have to do a lot of heavy lifting to be able to get the job done. So I want to see some serious kind of muscle come out here from Queen's Gaels on these final 2.
Yeah. That's got to put some serious pressure on those last 2 players at this point, though. I mean, you see 2 players just like, especially with that last stock. Again, that stock could have been gone. 80% lead.
Yeah.
One good move, evens out.
It's not going to be easy.
No, absolutely not. This is an uphill battle.
I mean, like, every Smash player would always love to go into a match where the other player only has 1 stock. But I think even going into Steven, you got to be careful that he doesn't take at least 1.
Yeah. Especially if you're not playing a character like that Diddy that is zoning like that, because when Steven's not getting zoned, those aggressive plays, that pressure of that spike off ledge, is really going to be the big thing.
And for Mario in particular, he's just so good at sticking to you mid-combo, right? He has perfect control over pretty much where you go, where he is, and he's able to get such, I mean, his up air has such low recovery that he's really able to just kind of throw it out to zone you and force you to kind of like rethink how you're going to approach your way back down.
Good old ladder combos too.
Absolutely, yeah.
We saw it on Smashville. That was a decent chunk of as to how Steven closed the gap there.
Yeah, the Mario really gets those big damage opportunities here. So now going into this next match versus Queen's Gale, their next player coming out with a Rob. This is that zoning matchup that we were talking about. There's going to be a lot of this Rob's going to try and control a lot of space with that top, with that laser, and just really trying to apply a ton of pressure always.
Absolutely, Mario has the cape, but that's not that doesn't stay on you forever.
Yeah,
got to be very careful with those projectiles because you only have 1 stock. You got to use it right.
The scariest thing about Rob here is that really his advantage state is so good. He's able to put the top on the ledge, and he has so many great options off stage. It's really so hard to kill Rob without just shoving him into the blast zone outright. And for Steven, he's really has to try and play very much conservatively here. He's not going to be able to take a ton of high-risk plays off ledge. I mean, ideally not with Rob having such, strong off-stage power. And already starting to build up some decent damage here, but Steven immediately going to take back the reins here and going to get the spike already. Not quite high enough percent to kill, but just going to just throw out that little threat right there like, hey, you could have died right there.
Yeah, that is an ego spike right there. Thought he was going to go for it again, to be honest.
I mean, the way he's controlling his movement here is really, really nice. Steven now going back a little bit. Flood going to try and control some space here, but Sheelix is just approaching, trying to get up close as Steven also just shoves him off the ledge once again. And once he's off, you know, you see Steven, he's not trying to follow. He's not trying to go off the ledge. That top, such a delayed landing there, and being able to play around that as well to get that extra hits done and just extend your hitbox even longer as you come back up the ledge is just so scary. But now Steven is the one kind of off to the side here, and he's able to actually get back on the ledge, able to touch back onto the ground perfectly fine. No interference there from Shelix.
Yeah. I think if you're Steven here, you're looking for at least one stock, just bare minimum.
He gets the throw, and the back throw is good. I mean, it's going to buy him a lot of space here. Definitely, if he was a little bit higher up, that would have killed him. He's actually able to catch the top as well, and now he's got things on his side here as he just throws it straight up, and now Rob has to try and deal with around the ledge here. A great punish from Steven. It's going to take a stock.
Steven is just denying this pressure from the Rob so well. Rob has not had any time to set up shop, get things going. Steven's been on. Steven's on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really feeling it here, and he's looking for these big opportunities, building up a ton of damage, but a great parry into that up smash. He's going to take out Steven, put an end to his reign of terror here, but already you see, look at how many stocks down the Golden Gaels are at the moment. SNHU, they've only just lost their first set of 3. Gaels are down to their final 2 players, and Shelix is down a stock.
Yep. And now SNHU has the advantage of being able to put in whoever they please.
Yeah, they can say, hey, our player who can play against Rob the best, or whoever has the best matchup into this Rob, just throw him out there and take him out. And SNHU can really afford to play very much kind of like just play around the matchup, right? Because even if they throw in a player and then they get stomped in the game after that, they're still in the lead. Right now, the Gaels really have to try and just steal momentum away. They've got to go for some high-risk plays. They got to go for some high rewards. They need to take these games without losing as much, without taking as much damage as possible.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not the most informed about all of the Smash characters, but when I hear high risk, high reward, my first thought is not Rob.
Rob's very consistent. You know, he is a solid character. He's very much one that you don't see. I mean, he definitely has some great opportunities to really catch out on damage, but I wouldn't say he's an incredibly risky character.
Yeah.
He's kind of a low-risk, high-reward character.
Yeah.
Which is something that's really nice with him. It's just that, you know, you can't really, in a lot of situations, you don't have the options to go for a lot of super high-risk plays, but that's only because Rob is so safe with his recovery and his offstage, his offstage kit, that really he's always kind of in a good spot.
Yeah. If you're Shelix here, all you're gonna want to do is just slow this game down.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to just control this game and stop SNHU before they're able to find any more. But for SNHU, they're bringing in Cruss next as a Falco player.
Oh. Slowing this game down. That's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, this is Falco is going to be all over you. Falco is one of the characters that is really versatile. You know, he's able to, if he wants to, stall the game out from range. He's got great options for doing that, but he's also got really good options for actually approaching you and getting combos off of that. So let's see how Cruss takes this fight against Shelix. He has a stock advantage here. We'll see how far he's able to push that.
Yeah. This is going to be a very interesting matchup to see. Just who gets the momentum first.
Yeah, and for Shelix here, I mean, if he gets great momentum early on, that's a huge opportunity for him because Rob, once he has the ledge, he's kind of, you know, his advantage game is just so strong. Cruss is going to be able to play kind of at a distance, and especially on a map like this where he's really able to hit up through the platform super strong is really, really nice for him. And that reflector is just doing so much whenever he sees that top start to get spooled up.
Yeah, I mean, Shelix can't even use the gyro. It's not even an option right now. I mean, it's just kind of twiddling away at Cruss's toes right now. But in the meanwhile, now we're getting some big percent on the board.
Yeah, Shelix has just been eating hits right now. Cruss able to get that. I mean, just doing up throw into a follow-up there is just a staple for Falco. And just waiting for the top to come out to reflect it back out. Almost reflected the beam. Would have been a little bit scary there, but not going to go quite on target. He's going to be able to pick up a kill just like that. Cruss still holding on to that lead, barely taking any damage, only 42% on his initial stock. Shelix is down 1, back to 0.
Yeah, I mean, you saw there in that interaction when Shelix was trying to land, those grabs were coming out, but they were just getting the hits coming. The hits were coming out too fast to actually be able to do anything with it.
just continuing to harass him over and over. These up airs and these up tilts are just so suffocating here. Shelix is having such a hard time just landing back on the ground. He will finally be able to, and he's actually going to bait out that reflector and just fly straight in. But Russ is back off to the other end of the stage. We'll be able to back up on the ledge. That down air is not going to hit, and he's going to be able to pick up a kill off of that. The bear goes through. Crust does not lose a single stock, and Queen's Gaels are down to their final member, a 1 versus 3.
Crust deciding just like, you want to play lame? You want to play Rob?
Yeah.
No, I won't let you.
Falco is one of those characters because he is really good at shutting down characters who kind of play lame like Rob, but he's also really good at playing lame himself. Falco, he can absolutely he chooses who gets to play lame in this game,
I
and
mean,
that's one of the strengths of Falco.
Those reflectors there, especially in the early game, were so clutch. If you're Shelix there, your main objective at the start of that game, I think, is just to kind of slow it down, get yourself set up to succeed later on in the match.
Yeah,
Those reflectors stop that from happening altogether. From there, just those mid-air juggles with the up airs, tacked on, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% until that back air was enough to kill.
Yeah, it is for Rob. You really want to just be able to establish pressure, put your tops down, and use that to just compound your lead even more. Just keep building your advantage, get into better and better spots for yourself, and just kind of take away parts of the stage. Like say, oh, you will only get to play on the ledge here unless you get past me, which is going to be so hard because I'm so good in the air. I can just put this top on the ground that you have to deal with. And Falco, fortunately, is able to kind of kick that reflector out and deal with that. But we saw Falco in the when he was kind of at the disadvantage, he really struggled a little bit to actually get back on stage. Some of his approach options were very risky, very unsafe, and fortunately he didn't get punished for them.
Absolutely.
So Falco, I think, was a great choice there into Rob. But now looking at the Gaels' final player here, what they pick is going to matter so much because they have to run through 3 members of SNHU.
Yeah, this next player is taking on truly a gargantuan effort. Crust has 3 stocks. Crust is fresh.
Yeah.
Percent doesn't carry over.
Yep.
As much as I'm sure Queen's Gaels absolutely wish that Percent did. No, this is a new game.
Yeah, and because of that, it's going to be a situation where the Gaels, they have to, their anchor player needs to absolutely carry. They need to be just cracked, right?
Absolutely.
And they need to play a character that has good matchups. And they need to play a character that's consistent. And they need to be consistent. And that is so tough.
When you lay it out like that, it sounds almost impossible.
It's going to be very hard. But these kind of comeback stories, you got 3
They
stocks,
happen.
you got 3 games ahead of you. It could happen.
Yeah. We've seen it before. We've seen people within our own team in the past straight up 12-0.
Yeah. Oh,
this is not out of the question.
It is unlikely. Always, every time it pops up, it's always unlikely. But when it does happen, it's very scary to just see someone pop up and be like, "Oh, you are minus 9 stocks," just right off the bat, like minus 12 stocks. I win this set just from me alone.
Yeah, obviously I don't play Smash in a team environment, but when those games go from you being, so far in the lead to suddenly like. You turn around for 2 seconds, you look back, the room is on fire, you are on the back foot. There is nothing more like soul crushing.
Oh yeah.
And that will affect how you play, no matter what game you play. Because then you're gonna start overthinking what you're doing. That's gonna slow you down, and then, you'll be even further and further on the back foot.
I think a big thing in like a crew battle environment is not only is it kind of an endurance test physically, like you have to just play consistently for a number of games. You have to try and go as far as you can. You also have to have that mental fortitude to be able to just play into 4 different people who are all going to play differently. You got to learn how they all play. You got to download each of their play styles and figure it out, right? And you have to also, in these situations where you're in this last player left and you need to go through the entire thing, it's really hard to not get psyched out. But Queen's Gaels are going to send out, completely unfazed, unscared, a Ganondorf here into this Falco.
I don't know how to respond to that. Do you think that's the play?
We've seen it on stream before. We've seen Krus fight Ganondorf on stream, and it has not been pretty. It has been Falco will just run away from Ganondorf for like 4 minutes, and just shoot him with lasers until he gets high enough to kill, and then he will just kill him.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's always a new opportunity for something to happen here.
yeah. If you're Queen's Gale, you're looking for some feathers on the wall. You know, feathers on the sword,
Yeah.
so to speak. The C-stick warrior coming in, you know, so to speak.
It's gonna be tough.
Unfortunately, that's a lot of Ganon's utility.
That is.
Are those smash attacks that have such solid range, so much damage and knockback. If you can hit one of those, I mean, I guess that's the rationale. Like,
Yeah. But it is gonna have to be a very hard fought battle because this Ganondorf. I mean, Ganondorf is a character that can just very quickly end a match by killing you 3 times outright. Like it is not hard for him to kill a character. But it's hard for him to get in a position where he can kill a character.
yes.
And he has to, take 3 stocks off Krus, 3 stocks off SNHU's third player, and 3 stocks off of SNHU's final player, on Ganondorf. He can't switch.
I mean, it's a bold choice.
It is a bold choice. I like it.
It is.
To be fair, I like it. If you're in a situation where you have to, go through 3 people there, you might as well go crazy.
I mean, yeah, like, you got to get a little ambitious.
You dream big. Dream big, Ganondorf. That's all I can say right here. Ganondorf versus Falco. Suji versus Krus. You see Krus smiling. You see him laughing. You see him shaking his head down there in the camera. This is going to be kind of how the matchup goes right here. Suji is kind of building up some ground here, but you see Krus just runs away and starts to shoot at him once more. I mean, he's a difficult target to hit, it seems so far.
I thought you were exaggerating.
No.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought there was a lot of funny haha in that. No, you're being serious. There's a lot of running happening here. Suji is able to get some good percent, but that's a kill.
Yeah. No, like I said when Krus was fighting Rob, Falco's one of those characters who gets to decide who gets to play lame in this match. If you're a character that plays lame, Falco decides you don't get to play lame. And if you are a character that does not play lame, Falco gets to play lame.
Yeah, just jack of both trades.
Yeah.
Master of both.
He's pretty good at doing both of those. And he's just tossing around this Ganon right now. And a little bit of a scary situation for him right here. He's not going to be able to get back up to ledge. Now 2-2 Krus down a stock, but Suji at 134%. He's going to have a tough time staying alive here. He's getting some good usage out of his movement there. The Warlock Punch comes out. That's 40% onto Krus.
All right, so in my games, Krus would have had to go off stage and think about some decisions for a really long time. The damage is coming in now for Suji. At that 151% mark, it's going to be really, really dangerous. But if you can get one good hit on that Falco at 80%, that's going to be pretty likely to send him flying.
I mean, if Ganondorf here is able to get into a spot where he's in the advantage, he's going to be able to really push that hard. He's got some decent edge options at least, but Krus is now back in a situation where he just found a stock. Suji's on his final stock here, and Krus is at 99. It wouldn't be surprising to see a Falco just get hit by a greatsword, explode into a bunch of feathers like that. But now they're back to 0-0, and Krus is here on a fresh stock. Just has to try and build up some space.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tough scenario. Even if you take this stock, just imagine, you're Suji. You take this stock. What do you do?
Oh! A big hit there on the smash attack, but Krus gonna be able to get back up, barely not killing, staying alive. That was a red screen there at like 50% for Krus right there. That's kind of how scary Ganon is, but he's in a situation where it's really hard for him to actually get a lot of those hits in, although he does seem to be doing a good job at closing the distance here. A little scary.
I gotta be honest, my comedic timing tonight been impeccable.
I mean, good comedic timing, some comedic matchups here, but the kick is going to go through, and Suji takes down Krus. He's got 1 stock left to work with. SNHU, they've still got 6. left in the bag.
All right, so back to my previous comment.
Yeah.
Because now it seems that we are in the ballpark to find out.
Yeah, we may have messed around a little bit, and we might find out.
Yeah, where on the scale
But
are we about to find out, do you think?
no,
No?
Suji only has one stock left.
Suji only has one.
I'm a doubter.
You're a doubter?
I'm team doubt.
You're a hater?
I'm team doubt. Are you team hope?
I don't know. I feel like I need balance on this cast. I feel like we need some hope, you know?
Okay.
I'm a big believer in yin yang. You know?
Sure. So you're team hope. How does he do it? How does he take 6 stocks?
I mean, you hope they don't play another Falco.
I mean, they probably won't.
They probably won't.
Crus is the only Falco player here,
but another like rushdown character like that can just obliterate you so quick.
Yeah.
Just outspeed you. You know.
Yeah.
I am if I am Suji, I am creating a summoning circle for like the anti-Sonic. Like
Yes.
that is the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, he's got to have like dream catchers up to stop these rushdowns from invading his games, because it's gonna be tough for him here. He's got a very hard path ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's only got 1 stock left. Has to take 6 in a row. He can't die once. And, I mean, that means that he can't even do the Ganondorf thing where he grabs you and just jumps off the ledge with you. If he had a stock advantage, he could at least do that. But he can't. He doesn't have that option here. He's going to have to play very respectfully and very honest, like he did in that last game. We saw he really, really tempered his options there and did not, play in situations where he really was in a position to get punished a lot.
You have to think SNHU is going to play this a lot more aggressive. That Pokemon trainer definitely going to be able to do that with that Squirtle.
Quackers up here representing SNHU. Suji starting to approach. Will start to take some kicks off the side here as he goes back down to his final stock. Quackers.
Take his slow, leisurely, little swaggy.
Oh, okay. He's having a walk around town.
I mean, wants a little more stage time, I guess, you know?
Yeah, there he goes. And the match now begins. Suji on his
the walk of
stock.
shame.
Has to take a second to bask in kind of the glory there of being the last stand for the Gaels. But now Quackers, I mean, he's already up at 50%. He ate like 2 hits there, and that's a lot of damage already. But Suji is starting to get up that high as well as Squirtle just builds up that damage so fast. Able to scoop him up there a little bit. Go switch over to the Ivory Storm for the quick recovery. Start to jump up with the Nair and build up some damage.
But, like, you can't push the advantage all that much if you're Suji. There's nothing you can do. You get that high percent, and you just hope for a big kill move on stage. You don't have the room to take those risks.
And yeah, like you said, he doesn't have the options to really go off stage and try and push the advantage. He doesn't. He has to play very respectfully. He has to just try and hit you with a big hit that kills you on stage. And unfortunately, that didn't happen there as Quackers comes up to clean things up. We'll take that final stock off of Suji after. I think that pre-round might have been longer than the actual round there, because it's so hard to stay alive in some situations on characters like Ganondorf, where your recovery is so linear and you don't really have that many options off stage. You can't stop people from just getting back up.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm going to be completely honest, that pregame where those stocks were going down, I could hear the funeral march like coming in.
Yeah.
Because what do?
You could hear the trumpets going out, and then the 21 gun salute.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, Ganondorf, as he was sent off to his funeral.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do if you're Suji? You pray for divine intervention at bare minimum.
Yeah. And you go back and you hit the training room again. Just try and be better next time. Try and do better. But I mean, a great match overall from SNHU. Queens Gaels had some really solid matches in there. A good set. Or a good first part of this set. It is a best of 3, so we will get to see the Queens Gaels bring things back a little bit here. We'll see if they get to kind of maybe get a better, now that they've got a general lay of the land for SNHU, maybe they can actually try and come back in and maybe change up their order that they play their players in here. Maybe bring in another player to try and even up some parts of their composition just a little bit. We're going to take a quick break while we get ready for our second round in this best of 3 set. We'll be back in just a few minutes. back throw and will be able to kill the stock lead for SNHU, which even at the moment, I mean, things are pretty even.
Yeah.
Steven's been able to make up a ton of
This game
ground.
is dead even now. Percent, like,
Oh!
what a punish.
Definitely, if he was a little bit higher up, that would have killed him.
Yeah.
He's actually able to catch the top as well, and now he's got things on his side here, so he just throws it straight up, and now Rob has to try and deal with around the ledge here. A great punish from
Steven's been on. Steven's on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really feeling it here, and he's looking for these big opportunities, building up a ton of damage, but a great parry. Just a staple for Falco. And just waiting for the top to come out to reflect it back out. Almost reflected the beam. Would have been a little bit scary there, but not going to go quite on target. He's going to be able to pick up a kill just like that. Crush on the ground. He will finally be able to, and he's actually going to bait out that reflector and just fly straight in. But Russ is back off to the other end of the stage. We'll be able to back up on the ledge. That down air is not going to hit, and he's going to be able to pick.
He's able to get some good percent, but that's a kill.
Yep. Yeah. No, like I said when Crush was fighting Rob, Falco's one of those characters who gets to decide who gets to play with. He's pretty good at doing both of those. And he's just tossing around this Ganon right now. And a little bit of a scary situation for him right here. He's not going to be able to get back up to ledge at least, but Crush is now back in a situation where he just found a stock. Suji's on his final stock here, and Crush is at 99. It wouldn't be surprising to see a Falco just get hit by a greatsword, explode into a bunch of feathers.
Gotta be honest, my comedic timing tonight been impeccable.
I mean, good comedic timing, some comedic matchups here, but the kick is gonna go.
All that much. If you're Suj, there's nothing you can do. You get that high percent, and you just hope for a big kill move on stage. You don't have the room to take those risks.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Hello and welcome back to the SNHU Esports Arena as we get ready to go into our second set. A guest appearance from Mike, our graphic designer. Love to see it. Love to have him here with us. Maybe not quite intentional, but that's okay. So we're going to go into our second set here, and on this best of 3 game will be. I mean, last set was kind of a rough one for Golden Gaels there. SNHU really just kind of tore through a lot of them very early on. There wasn't a lot they could really do at that kind of disadvantage here, so I'm really hoping to see them kind of punch up here.
Yeah, we see Rotten Lunch coming in first. Didn't get any play time in that last few games. So excited to see what he pulls out on the Ike here.
Yeah, the Ike is, I mean, very much a solid pick for Rotten Lunch, and something we see quite often here. But for Pokemon Trainer, I think this Squirtle's going to have a great time at just building up a lot of percentage and kind of playing around Ike and doing a good job punishing around his attack. Kind of long recovery.
Yeah, that neutral beat in particular is really scary off ledge. If you're Rotten Lunch, you're going to be... You can see Boone going for it every time that Rotten Lunch is off stage. It's such a good option, especially since Ike's recovery is so vertical.
Ooh, that's a fantastic combo once again. Going to be able to finish off Rotten Lunch there. Set him back down to 2 stocks as Boone continues to hold on to the lead here. And already, starting to pack up some even more damage on Rotten Lunch and basically tied things up here as it's 51.6 to 51.7 now. Building up even more damage as well as Boone is just continuing to compound this life lead that he already has. Established Rotten Lunch can be able to nice grab there, build up some damage. He starts to try and establish center stage presence.
Yeah, Boone is turning up now. Got his warm-up game in. Got that great parry. Little ambitious, but no punish coming out of that.
Trying to get back up on stage. We'll give Rotten the opportunity to actually try and push this advantage as much as he can go. And Squirtle's getting tossed around. He's so lightweight. They're going to see it swap into Ivysaur on the recovery. Trying to avoid this 2-frame much safer into that. Will be able to block that up B, but it cancels into the ledge grab, which is very nice. Rotten Lunch not going to punch off. Then he will be able to finish off that second stock there on Boone, sending him back out on the Charizard.
No immediate swap onto the Squirtle. I'm surprised. That Squirtle was putting in work.
Yeah, I really do like the Squirtle pick in this matchup, and we'll see him swap back over to that as soon as he gets the opportunity to. Lunch is continuing to use up B on that ledge and then canceling it into the ledge grab. Is doing a lot for that pressure. He can't really get punished for that, and it gives him it puts him in a situation where he can almost punish you if you try and punish him.
Yeah, that up smash would have been real sick, but it's real easy to read.
Back up to ledge now. Will eat another hit back off to the side. That up B just goes right over top of Boone. Not quite ready for it, but almost a deadly situation. As Rotten Lunch now reaching 140%. A scary spot to be in, but just continuing to build up this damage on Charizard here. This heavyweight is going to be pretty easy combo food for Rotten Lunch, and trying to just build up this damage off of the up B as well. Trying to hit that 2-framer. Not going to be able to. A lot of space gained there from Boone, and the side B is going to get caught out by that flame breath. Going to get punished once again on that up tilt. Rotten Lunch now down a stock as Boone is barely hanging on to his second here. We'll see how long he's actually able to hold on to it, and not for long is the answer. They're now equaling out 1-1 stock left.
I get why Boone swapped to that Squirtle. I don't think it was the right choice. I really don't.
Yeah, when you're so high percent against someone like Ike, who can really just toss you around and throw you out the moment that you really start to get up around that 80% mark, Squirtle just becomes such a high-risk option. And Rotten Lunch is just going to SD there. Maybe a miss input, but very unfortunate. Either way, SNHU will lose out on their first game point, but definitely not without making it hurt as Golden Gaels are down onto their final stock.
Yeah, this is no situation like the start of last game. No, 7 stock, practically untouchable.
No.
Like Boone played very well, but was very much not invincible, even when they were getting that really, really solid combos with that Squirtle. Once they were kind of forced off that, whether it be through getting high percent or just wanting that quick kill move, it's this is not the same game for SNHU as it was for Golden Gaels last game.
Yeah, it is a very big change of pace here, and I mean we saw Ron Lunch getting out there playing, getting some time in the spotlight. Is last set some people did hog the spotlight a little bit, and coming back up to hog it again is Steven, who will pop right back up here. He was able to take 2 players out last time he was up here, and that was just right off of 3 stocks. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's just continue to. I mean, he's already warmed up. He's
Yeah.
ready to go right back in. So I think getting him back in here before he cools down too much is a really good play.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, that Mario is a really solid matchup just all around.
Yeah.
Just a really great pick. If you're a good Mario, you'll be good into most scenarios. Especially with that 1 stock left for Boone. That's a really scary situation.
It very much becomes a skill matchup.
Especially since you saw what Steven did last
yeah.
and we're even
Yeah.
a victim of the proverbial slaughter.
It was a rough set. It was a rough set for the Guild last time versus Steven, so hopefully he just looks to kind of press this even further here as he gets ready to go in. It'll be Mario versus a 1 stock left on Pokemon Trainer. So this absolutely, I mean, I could see Steven losing a stock here, but ideally he doesn't want to lose more than that. He wants to come out of this without losing anything, because if he's able to take this, then that's a player down, and Queen's Gaels are now, I mean, SNHU now has an even stronger stock lead. And they can just continue to really try and play forward into that and play into some people that Steven's already kind of had good matches into. And kind of already gotten the read on how they play.
I mean, Queen's Gaels have that 1 player in the back that we haven't seen yet.
That's true.
If Steven gets this stock, they might bring in that extra player just to stop the bleeding, get something uninspected. Steven playing into someone that he's already played into, is going to have a bit of that download already, on standby. Unless they don't pick the Ganon again. Because,
I would say that's probably the right play. I mean, the Ganon was able to get some decent value there. Definitely someone who was not just like picking Ganon so they could spam smash stacks and just spam like big moves that will randomly kill you. Like they were definitely very much like you could tell they kind of had some mastery in Ganon, and having mastery in Ganon, you have to play very reserved. You have to play very respectful because yes, you can just throw out a move and yeah, it might just randomly kill someone, but also you throw it out and you're so slow and your recovery is so long, you just get punished and you eat so much damage off of it. You have to be so respectful with how you play, and I think we definitely saw a lot of that. Although I still think with Ganondorf, you just have such a rough matchup chart, and it is so hard to actually like just solo main that character.
Especially into that Mario. Mario has at least enough options off stage for a Ganon to just be put under immense pressure immediately. I think if they want to switch things up from last game, that's where they're going to do it.
And there is like an easy solution to that, right? Like if you play Ganondorf, just flex swap over towards Captain Falcon, right? That's a much more versatile option. You kind of tone down the power a little bit, trade it for some speed. But going into game now, Steven versus Boone, Pokemon Trainer versus Mario. SNHU, they do have their 1 stock down at the moment. Boone's down his final stock here, but Steven's looking to try and even the odds up a little bit here.
Yeah. We're gonna see the walk off ledge with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of style, with that mid-air swap. Finally able to go into game.
Just get that out of the way here. Now Steven, first blood will go over to Boone because he's going to be able to get his first hit in. They're starting to build up piece damage already. Steven tries to get in. We'll be able to get the ledge here, up into the up throw, into the spin, just continuing to hit those up tilts, and Boone already at 43%. Now Mario, he just tack on damage so fast, and he's continuing to do so already, 83%.
You have to expect the swap here. You have to. There it is.
Trying to get right back
Really
up.
risky.
Double swap off the stage. The Charizard now is going to be looking to just try and stay alive for as long as possible. Just try and get this stock out of Steven before he sends him out with the spin. Not going to send him off. Not going to send him off.
Great DI. It's always so upsetting as the aggressor in those scenarios to see the lightning come out and not get the kill.
Yeah, it
it's
is
really frustrating. Booms my mental a little bit.
Whenever you see it, that's very much like, oh, I can build my controller at that moment. But they're still hanging on here. They're still hanging on. Boone at 150%. Steven 101. Doesn't want to lose a stock, but will lose one. Steven now down to 2. That's going to be a stock deficit for SNHU as they go into the next match.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Boone, you're happy here. I mean, there's nothing more to say about it. You got a stock in a scenario in a game where you probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Given that the momentum was so far in Steven's corner for a lot of that game.
Yeah. And Steven now, I mean, this is kind of the pattern we saw him playing at before, where he was, losing a stock every match that he played through. But now he's in a situation where he is kind of playing at a deficit here. He lost a stock against Boone, who only had one, and now he has to try and play into the rest of Queen's Gales, which is going to be a little bit tricky for him. A little bit tricky when he's at that disadvantage.
Yeah, but like we mentioned earlier, the thing I've noticed about Steven as a player just so quickly is that sense of being able to stabilize. I think that if there is one thing that Steven can do here, it's that. Just make this game even, make this game equal. Even if you lose one stock, take two. You know, obviously, ideally you're not gonna lose in stock. You're gonna 3-0 roll
Every game.
Every game. Everybody gets to go home.
15-minute set, you're done.
You know,
like, that's the ideal.
Yeah, but that's not realistic.
Yeah.
You know, if you're Steven, you're looking for those stocks to get you out of this deficit, and really just make sure that it doesn't get any deeper.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing with crew battles is they can be really punishing in the sense that once you're down in stocks, you have to make a big steal to actually get that lead back and make up the difference, because you'll just be at a disadvantage going forward, and really it comes down to a situation where you have to not just win your games, you have to win them decisively.
Yes.
To reclaim that lead.
Luckily for SNHU, the bleeding is not so bad as, you know, a 4, 5, 6 stock deficit. This is a 1 stock game.
Yes.
As of now, which is not great, but very much survivable. We do have that DiddyCon coming out again.
That's going to be Steven will be down a stock versus the Diddy, and we saw the Diddy. Steven had to play very differently in this regard. When he had to worry way much more about the zoning and actually kind of trying to control space here versus the Diddy, who was really able to do it so effortlessly with that banana field.
Yeah, this is such a great choice from Queen's Gales. If you want to, you know, stop Steven from really, you know, taking this game away, that zoning is what you're going to want to do. At the same time, Steven's getting really good at catching those bananas when the opportunity is given.
Ooh, finally got some game audio there. I'm not sure if that was on stream or not, but we just got it in the arena. All of a sudden, throwing it in very big there. Hopefully that issue is also fixed on stream. They're hearing some cheering from the crowd here. But now, I mean, we're already getting into the set, getting into the thick of the set here as Jackson's at 104%. Steven is already pretty equally as high up, and if Jackson keeps this pace up, it's going to be very, very hard for him to actually lose the lead here. As Steven is off the edge, 130% now. Jackson starting to walk up, trying to control some space here, get back up on the ledge, but it's going to be Steven who finds that big hit there to send him up and finds it again, sends him off the top and back into the background. Jackson now down a stock, evening up that stock difference, but still a huge life lead.
Yeah, this is really scary for Steven. That just doesn't kill. I'm really surprised there. Great DI from Steven on that Mario, but you can only live for so long at that percentage.
Yeah, that was a situation where Jackson really just was able to kind of play around the lead that he already had, and Steven, who had just taken so much damage, really struggles to actually kind of go even here. He's in a situation where he's going to be permanently kind of at a deficit unless he finds a big steal, unless he's able to find some kind of big gimp or a spike early on to actually try and get an upset here and steal the momentum.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking here? Because I'm thinking the funny move.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking a forward aerial. It's just what the doctor ordered.
That would be really good for him here, but he's got to get actually towards center stage. He'll be able to get this back throw. Could potentially try and find something here, but just going to try and play around the ledge. Tries to go for the forward smash, but not going to hit as he tries to chase. But Jackson will be able to escape, get that banana back, reclaim that peel for himself as he goes forward. Tries to find some damage here, but not going to be able to find anything.
This is so scary. I mean, Steven's just on the back foot there right now.
Ooh.
Oh, that's tragic.
These games are so unfortunate because they're just in and out. People go in, they've only got like 1 or 2 stocks left, and they can just end so fast if you're not ready for it, and that's unfortunately what happened. There's Queen's Gale hold on to their stock lead here. They're going to be continuing to go forward here. It was a stock, I believe, that was lost there by that Diddy, but
You're
still
correct.
going to be a sizable lead that's building up.
if I am Jackson, I'm wiping the sweat from my brow that I was able to
Yes.
walk away with that second stock.
I mean, that was a run it back, right? Like, that
Yeah.
was Diddy versus Mario. That time he was actually able to get the upper hand there. Maybe got a little bit of stuff that he learned from that first matchup there with Steven and was able to apply that there. And really nicely done there from Queen's Gaels to be able to start to equalize things up a little bit, start to just continue to punch up at SNHU, who, I mean, had such a great first set that we're seeing Queen's Gaels start to play really reactively, start to adapt a lot more, and I think they're starting to get an upper hand off of that.
Yeah. SNHU's next player is going to have to actively put in a big effort to make sure that this doesn't go any further, so that this does not end up in a scenario like Queen's Gale were in last time.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it can just be so punishing if you're not ready for it. If you're not ready, they're going to stem the bleeding, like we've been saying. It can slowly just slip away from you here, and it looks like we are going to have Insignia tag in next for SNHU. This is, let's see, yeah, he's getting ready to sit down here. This is our Bowser player here on campus. Also, I mean, kind of a high-ranking player here in New Hampshire, number 3, I believe, in the state. So
that is what I heard in the lead-up. Number 3. That's no small.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. It's apparently very important we say that it's number 4.
Yeah, we're getting some we're getting some heckling from the crowd here, and
I think we're feeding into the Smash team's inside jokes here.
There is some drama, some tea that has not been spilled
I'm just
at
here
this
for
desk.
it. I'm here for the aftermath of it. You know, I'm not invested in it. I just want to see things blow up.
You know, some people want to watch the world burn, and that is Shoaley and policy right now.
Yeah, it is.
We want to watch the world burn.
Yeah. But right now, the world burning is probably what we're going to see once we see this Bowser come out, because Insignia's Bowser is really, really scary. A really, really solid character. Every time we see, that Bowser come out, the match usually kind of ends very soon after that.
It's like the Undertaker in wrestling.
It is.
The Undertaker comes out, you hear that bell, lights dim.
You know what's about to happen. You know. Someone's about to go in the grave.
I mean, Bowser is such a cool character.
He
hits hard, but has a lot of great options. I dabble in Bowser from time to time. Donkey Kong is closer to my heart,
And that's okay.
But
that's okay. You
sound like you're talking down to me with that.
No, it's okay to play Donkey Kong. It really is. It's no problem. It's just a hard life right now.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I'm being validated right now.
It is, but Bowser is a heavyweight that's just, I mean, definitely on the upper end of heavyweights in the game. Has, like you said, really great options, and just really big kill moves with not a lot of downsides other than being a big, heavy body that's kind of easy to combo.
Yeah, I mean that's the risk you take with those heavyweights, but they hit so hard that as long as you can take the reins of the game, that becomes a non-factor.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Once Bowser has kind of established that center space and he's got, that passive armor. Corrin, actually.
Oh.
We got ahead of ourselves.
Whoa.
Insignia also plays Corrin. That's absolutely all right. And the Corrin that Insignia has been playing is very much one that has been very consistent and I think a really great kind of answer to a lot of the bad matchups that Bowser might have. And just a lot more space control that you'll get to see come here out of this Corrin. A lot more just trying to zone out with these long-range attacks. And especially once you see this pin come out a lot, it's going to control so much space. And already that's 76% for Jackson.
Give me the 0 to death. I am begging right now. I want it.
Just trying to continue to come in and get some damage, and we'll see. I mean, Corrin's also got some really great kill moves here. That up B, just used for recovery there, is a great kill move. He's able to get a full connect off of it. Insignia will start to take some damage here as Jackson gets him caught up on this platform here, but a nice perfect parry gets him out of that situation. Now he's trying to fish for that up smash. Not going to be able to find it, but continuing to go in here. Gonna slip on a banana peel, but no big deal. Insignia getting it right back in. Going to catch that peel out of the air, and now he's the one who's got a little bit of free pressure here. Going to break through Jackson's armor there as he comes back up. Nice hit
that
there.
was almost incredibly swaggy. If that gets a kill, I mean that's one for the montage.
Yeah, always love to see a stock end like that, but now Insignia is the one back in the driver's seat here. As he continues to try and just pressure Jackson here on the platform, just swats him away. Boop, you're gone to the stratosphere. Insignia holds on to this 3-stock advantage.
That up air has been putting in work for Insignia. So much damage has come from that move.
Yeah, that is a really, really big thing for him here. He's able to control so much space with it. It just goes so far. It comes at such a good range. It's fast. It's just a great option to have for Insignia. And he's been using it, I mean, exploiting it very much against this team. It's going to be kind of trying to be, I mean, he's very floaty. It's very hard for him to try and land.
The hitbox on, let's be honest, a lot of Corrin's moves is ginormous.
Yeah.
A lot of, ooh. I mean, you know, huge kill for Jackson. Still in a bit of a deficit for SNHU now. But Insignia's just been playing so well, and that gets the kill.
Loses a stock, just says, hey, time to clean it up here now. Time to get this one over with. Jackson goes down. SNHU now only down 1 stock at the moment as they find that lead, or as they start to close in on that gap. They were down 2 at the start of this, so a great situation for SNHU as they start to bring things back a little bit. I like the Corrin choice a lot. I think it's a really versatile choice that we could see. You know, we were talking up his Bowser a lot, but he has been playing Corrin quite a bit here on stream, as well as playing it in GSG. And so he's been really coming out with that lately, and it's been really, really great in a lot of these matchups.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how much video review that, you know, Queen's Gale have been seeing just to kind of get a feel for players before they get into the lobby, but a player that can play, can and does play, you know, those multiple different characters with different play styles, different speeds of play.
Yeah.
Really, really dangerous, because when you're loading into that lobby, you never know which side you're seeing of a player. I
mean, when you get into those situations, it's very much like, you know, I can think of plenty of times in fighting games where I'll play against one person on character A, and I'll just stomp them. And they switch to character B, and they stomp me. Yeah. And it's not like they just have never played that first character before, but just the way that different play styles can kind of mesh with different characters, and the way that you'll see players kind of like, you know, just how much your playstyle matters, and how much, especially in Smash, your playstyle can change the way a character is played fundamentally, is really interesting, because going against something like Insignia's Bowser versus Insignia's Corrin is going to be significantly different.
Absolutely. You know, I really want to make a certain number 4 joke, but I don't know if that would be taken very well.
We'll ease off. We'll ease off.
They were having such a good time over there.
They were.
It is not on stream right now though. There was a not insignificant crowd.
I think the new power rankings came out today. I think is what it is. I think that's what they were laughing about and having a good time. But I'm interested to see for Queen's Gales here in their next set who they're going to send out into Insignia's Corrin, because playing into a character like Corrin, there's not a ton of options where you're really like, oh, this is just a great matchup here. Like, no brainer, send that guy in. Swordies are very versatile. They're very well-rounded, and overall just have a lot of great options. Their matchup charts are generally favorable. And so it's going to be kind of just a skill matchup. Like, send in your best player who also maybe doesn't just get bodied by Corrin's matchup chart.
Yeah. I mean, that Insignia's Corrin looked so good there. I mean, like, he lost his stock, but only one.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask for perfection sometimes, but like it's not reasonable just to assume you're gonna 3-0 everyone like that.
You don't need it.
No.
You're not in a situation where those huge 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 wins are necessary for you to take the W here. You can take this a little slow.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we get ready to go into our next game coming up here, Queen's Gales are definitely going to have to kind of put some ice onto Insignia here and start to slow down this game that's coming out here, because if this continues to play at this pace, if he continues to only lose 1 stock per match, that is significantly a faster momentum than what Queen's Gale have been putting out here, and then they might struggle a little bit going forward here as they get closer and closer to the bottom of their stock pool.
Yeah, the train is leaving the tracks.
Yeah,
you got to put the brakes on.
It is derailing at the moment.
Yeah, you got to put the brakes on before before it gets too fast to even slow down anymore.
Yeah, just getting the situation under control is so big for Queen's Gale, and I think it definitely not only takes just obviously winning your matches is a great start, right? Like duh, forehead, but
I never would have guessed.
yeah, the secret to Smash Bros is actually just to win your games. But
I've learned so much.
just kind of taking some time in between these matches, just be like, okay, here is, talk to your teammates, stuff that they've seen, like, hey, here's some things that we've noticed in this match, here's some things that they're playing, here's some things that they're doing that you're not punishing, here's some things that they messed me up with, and I could have punished it like this, and I just didn't realize it. Like, that kind of level of communication is so big, and actually just figuring out exactly what your game plan is and putting one together as your team can really help you out.
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to see this as a never-ending series of 1v1s, but that's not what it is. At the end of the day, like, the team is a team.
Yes.
They will all be able to share that info, as you said, and develop and grow stronger together. The Ganon is coming out again, Suji.
All right. I'm excited to see this Ganon again, see what kind of work he can put in here versus Insignia, already building up a quick 23% here, but Insignia starts to take center stage here, and now Ganon's trying to land into this Corrin, which could be a little bit tricky, but we'll be able to get down pretty decently well. Just trading right back and forth, but if they keep trading at this rate, Insignia is going to be the one who's going to be a pretty high percentage here. A good punish brings him up to 55% and counting, but we'll be able to punch him off. I'm just going to block that up smash. A lot of armor damage, but now just trying to fall back and zone out with these long-range attacks.
The good thing for Suji here is that he is no longer in a situation where, like, his every mistake, every move, it could be the game decider. There's some wiggle room there, and I think that will allow Suji to play a little differently, maybe a little more aggressive, a little less conservative, get a little more of those high damage moves out, and fish for those kills.
Yeah, Insignia is finding some big damage here, finding some potential knockback. We'll be able to get up above that down smash. Not going to get scooped up here, and we'll be able to punish off of that parry. Suji now at 143%. We'll be able to get that up. Just clip him on the ledge right there for a second, but these back airs coming out from Insignia, you got to be so scared of these. Any single one of these could probably just outright kill this Ganon at this point, but he's going to pin him instead and send him out.
You know, pins him into the ground, but gets sent off flying stage right. You know, if you're Insignia, you just have to play this a little slow. You're at 118% right now. Walked up, command grab. Sure.
It happens. It happens. And Insignia is now down to his final stock as Suji starts to build up some more damage as well. He starts to go in, just building up some nice combo damage here. Has to be a little bit scared about chasing Suji off the edge, and we'll be able to get that side B in the air. Not going to find the stage spike, but now Insignia only down 10%, but it's down a full stock as well. Going to start to build up some combo damage here. Has to try and find an opportunity to really build up a huge dent kind of into the Gaels lead here, but he will just get spiked off the stage.
Oh, that's
heartbreaking.
Indeed.
And
it's so frustrating too, because so much percentage was gained there. I think Suji was above 100% there, or at least close to it.
That was scary, for sure. I mean, for SNHU, or for the Gaels, I mean, that's a huge kind of foot in the door that they've gotten right there, just to stabilize and really start to gain some ground back, because SNHU are now down to their final player and sending in, and I mean, this is going to be all down to them. This is where the pressure starts to mount. This is where things start to get kind of scary.
This is going to be a 5-stock marathon here if SNHU wants to take the win here.
5 stocks is not undoable.
5 stocks is absolutely not undoable. We saw it last game.
Yeah. It is absolutely something that you can just put out. You know, it's not an impossible task. It's still hard.
It is certainly incredibly difficult.
You got to take 2 of those stocks off of one person, and then you have to adjust to playing around a brand new person who shows up, has an entirely different play style. You got to take 3 stocks off of them.
Yeah,
and having that versatility, having that adaptability, being able to just go in and being able to read and download 2 people before either of them can download you and figure out what you're doing is hard.
Yeah, particularly because you know, one of those players for the Gaels, we don't know what they play.
Yeah.
We don't know how they play. That's such a scary situation for SNHU's last player.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sure they might have a little bit of an idea here. Probably a little bit of homework happening out there, but definitely we haven't seen them play tonight, and that could be a big factor to see whether or not they're performing well. But Krus and Suji just being menacing, walking across. Ooh, it's so scary. He needs to lose stock, though, unfortunately. As much as he wants to hang on to this one, he's enjoying this life before he has to throw it away.
Yeah, I mean, dude's living life to the fullest, and I gotta respect that. As a boy with hopes and dreams, you gotta do what you have to.
And, I mean, a little bit unfortunate that, stalling for so long at the beginning there, the stage is actually going to change, and Falco's not going to get that opportunity to play around with those platforms. And it'll be a bit of the NFD at the start of the match.
That's a little scuffed. I am not familiar with every line in this league, but that platform came in just as that was you were leaving the neutral there. I think that's a kill.
Oh
my God.
Okay.
I mean, Suji can walk all menacing, walk up slow, no down smash because you can't get that percent in the early game. But when you're in game, all those menacing walks, menacing steps don't mean anything if you get spiked into the bottom blast zone.
Yeah, all that time you spend being menacing is just time and ticking down on the clock. And for Krus, that's exactly what he wants, but he's going to SD there. He's going to fall right off.
That's tragic, but I mean, oh well, go next. You can't dwell on that.
Yeah, you don't let that tilt you. But we're gonna get a punish off of the grab there, Suji. Both sides relatively untouched at the moment. Suji will take a bit of damage there as Krus gets through that shield. And now just starting to build up some more damage as he gets him up onto this platform. Up throw again, trying to follow, trying to chase. Not going to be able to find it. A stage spike right there. Suji tries to find some value off of this ledge. But Krus going to be able to get right back on and stuff him with the laser.
God, that's a little terrifying. That is a game of chicken that I don't want to play.
Just getting back up onto the stage, not going to get hit by that down smash, not going to get scooped up. Just getting this damage tacked on more and more, and another spike comes out. He is so far down, and he is not coming back from that one. Krus now 2 stocks left versus the Golden Gaels final 3. It's an uphill battle, but definitely not an impossible one, to be sure.
But suddenly this is a lot less scary.
That's true. That's true. I mean, the Ganon matchup is one for Falco that Krus didn't win last time. But that is a matchup that is kind of Falco favored.
Yeah, but that 3 stock to 2 is a lot less daunting than them having 5 whole stocks.
Yeah, he was able to get 2 stocks off before when he lost 1. He's just got 3 more to go, and if he's warmed up, if he's in the right headspace, that is definitely doable. He's gonna have to find. I mean, he's been pretty good with the spikes tonight. So if he's able to keep that up, he's able to keep doing that. He's gonna be able to find some early kills, and that's exactly what he needs to get the lead that he needs to find.
Yeah, if Krus can equalize early, I mean, this game is it will be as if there was no deficit to begin with.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna be looking for if you're Krus. And if you are his teammates on the sidelines here.
Yeah, but the scary thing here is that we're coming down to a situation where end of set 2, SNHU won the first set. If Krus can't close out this set, then they have to play a third one. They have to play the deciding set of crew battle, and that's a little bit of pressure there. It's like, hey, you could clinch this out right now, or we could go to a game 3. And that is the pressure that's kind of building up right now. That is what could possibly getting into the headspace that shouldn't be there, and it's kind of getting those bad thoughts in.
I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid those thoughts coming into your headspace as a player for a different game. That is absolutely what I think in those. Oh, we can get it. But in the back of your mind, it's always nagging at you.
Yeah, I mean, and especially as a commentator who's sitting up here yelling throughout the entire set, when it gets about to the end of the second set, I'm like, please, let me tap out.
Yeah,
but I always love it. It's a little bit it's a little bit of a love-hate relationship when it goes down to like the very end of set 3. It happens all the time in Valorant, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, my throat is gonna hate this tomorrow morning, but this is sick, and I love this game.
I was just gonna say, like, at least this isn't Valorant where you can go like, 25 round overtime, and then it just ends because like somebody gets 3 kills out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you just have 2 players just sitting there like, Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Yeah, it is. It's fortunately Smash is a lot less brutal in that regard. You know, you're not playing for an hour and a half only to end up with a tie. But we're gonna see Banjo come out as the final pick from the Golden Gaels. Shellix coming out representing the Bear.
This is a pick. This is a pick that I have thoughts about. That a certain Kresnik, coach of the Overwatch team, very much understands my thoughts on this character. But I'm very excited to see what a top level, competitive Banjo is going to be able to do here.
It's one of those feathers gone, and Crust starting to push the advantage here. He just goes right under, and that's a stock down for Shellix. He can't get back up, and will he be able? No way!
What in the world?
I don't know what happened down there, but looked like he reset himself with a grenade.
Oh, that's really smart. I thought he was getting some magical assists down there. Called on a higher power to get that extra recovery. But at the end of the day, that stock is not gone, even though it probably should have been.
Yeah, he is holding on to that. A fantastic recovery, but starting to build up some big damage here from Crust. Definitely trying to make him lose this stock sooner rather than later, but that will be only one feather left for Shellix at the moment, and it will go through. That's a lot of space gained by Shellix.
As I always say, that feather is the real kill move, and at that point, you're out of your big kill move. That stock reset is not necessarily strongly disliked.
We'll just bury him and kick him out of there. Down to the final stock for Crust. A 1 versus 2 situation here. Down to the wire for sure. Shellix, this could have easily been a 1 versus 1 if he didn't pull off that insane recovery earlier on in this game. Crust got to play so clean from here on out.
Yeah, but we just have to see if Crust has the clutch gene right now.
This is a tense situation for sure. He's going to be able to get a little bit of space off that grenade, prevent that recovery from being so long, but will build up a little bit of percentage on himself as Crust tries to go in, building up a lot of damage off these grenades. His reflectors are so big for him, and they're establishing a lot of wiggle room for him to work with here, just deleting parts of the stage pretty much. It's the second feather down for Shellix.
Yeah, those feathers are fading away really fast. Only 2 left.
He does have 2 stocks left, so he's definitely playing around knowing that he can be a little bit, more open with when to use these feathers. And he starts to run in already. That grenade slowly encroaching, but Crust hanging on at 60% right now, holding on to this nade. Will get hit in midair by it as he tries to come back up onto stage. A little bit early, and the slam just a little bit too early there. It's Crust right on the upper edge of Shellix's range as he flies in.
That's so scary. No punish, but man, that's terrifying for Crust. Just barely gets back on stage. Huge grenade. Oh.
And that's going to clinch out the set for the Golden Gaels right there. They stay strong in this one. They got off on a good start, and they maintained that lead. They maintained that momentum the entire time. Really, really nicely done there from the Gaels. SNHU also had a great performance in some of those matches.
Absolutely.
Doing a really great job, just kind of we saw some points where it looked like they were about to stabilize there, and almost for sure, I feel like that last game, that recovery was so clutch from Shellix.
Yeah,
what an insane moment in that match.
My brain short-circuited on that recovery. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's like under the stage.
I was sitting there like, oh, he's dead. Oh no, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's alive.
It's like a broken record.
It was insane. Just an absolutely wild moment for sure.
That's a really clutch play there. I mean, now SNHU in that situation that you said before, there is no advantage. This game is purely even now.
Yep.
It's I think to me it's going to be up to which players now are going to be able to sort of take the reins, take their mental, and just kind of play as if this is not like a last game scenario, but as if it's just any other game.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a big end to this set coming up. We're going to take a quick break while you're ready to go into our final set here for SNHU Blue versus Queens. Gaels will decide the whole thing. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the end for this.
That Rob Lunch is off stage. It's such a good option, especially since Ike's recovery is so vertical.
Ooh, that's a fantastic combo once again. It's going to be so lightweight. They're going to see it swap into Ivysaur on the recovery. Trying to avoid this two-frame much safer into that. Will be able to block that up B, but it cancels into the ledge grab, which is very nice. It's not going to punch this damage off of the up B as well. Trying to hit that two-framer, not going to be able to. A lot of space gained there from Boone, and the side B is going to get caught out by that Flame Breath. Going to get punished once again by that Flame Breath. Going to get punished once again on that up tilt. Ron Lunch now down a stock as Boone is barely hanging on to his second here. We'll see how long he's actually able to hold on to it, and not for long. It's someone like Ike who can really just toss you around and throw you out in the moment. Really start to get up around that 80% mark. Squirtle just becomes such a high-risk option, and Ron Lunch is going to...
Really frustrating. Booms my mental a little bit.
Whenever you see it, that's very much like, oh, I can build my control with that moment. But
yeah.
but they're still hanging on here. They're still hanging on. Boone at 150%. Steven 101. Doesn't want to lose a stock, but will lose. That's going to be a stock deficit for SNHU as they go into the next match.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Boone, you're happy here. I mean, there's nothing more to say about it. You got a stock in a scenario, in a game where you probably shouldn't have.
Starting to walk up, trying to control some space. You can back up on the ledge, but it's going to be Steven who finds that big hit there to send him up and finds it again. Sends him off the top and back into the background.
This is really scary for Steven. That just doesn't kill. I'm really surprised there's great GI from Steven on that Mario, but you can only live for so long at that,
but not be able to find anything.
This is so scary. I mean, Steven's just on the back foot there right now.
Ooh. Yeah, always love to see a stock end like that, but now Insignia is the one back in the driver's seat here. As he continues to try and just pressure Jackson here on the platform, just swats him away.
Let's be honest, a lot of Corrin's moves is ginormous.
Yeah.
A lot of I mean, huge kill for Jackson. Still in a bit of a deficit for SNHU now. But Insignia's just been playing so well, and that gets the
43%. We'll be able to get that up. You just clip him on the ledge right there for a second, but these back airs coming up from Insignia, you got to be so scared of these. Any single one of these could probably just outright kill this Ganon at this point, but he's going to
stage right. You know, if you're Insignia, you just have to play this a little slow. You're at 118% right now. Walked up
as well. Going to start to build up some combo damage here. Has to try and find an opportunity to really build up a huge dent kind of into the Gaels lead here, but he will just get spiked.
Familiar with every line in this league, but that platform came in just as that was we were leaving the neutral there. I think that's a kill. I mean, anything if you get spiked into the bottom last time.
Yeah, all that time you spend being menacing is just time ticking down on the clock, and for us, that's exactly what he wants, but he's going to SD there. He's
chicken that I don't want to play.
Just back up on the stage, not going to get hit by that down smash, not going to get scooped up. Just getting this damage tacked on more and more, and another spike comes
another one.
This stock sooner rather than later, but that will be only one feather left for Shellix at the moment, and it will go through. That's a lot of space gained by Shellix.
As I always say, that feather is the real kill, and you know, at that point, you're out of your big kill move. That stock reset is not necessarily strongly disliked. That's so scary. No punish, but man, that's terrifying for us. Just barely gets back on stage. Huge grenade. Oh. That
Hello and welcome back as we go into our deciding game of the night. SNHU Yellow or SNHU Blue versus Queens Gaels. About to finish off this set. Should be really exciting. We had a great first set come out there from SNHU. Queens Gaels immediately fighting back, taking a great second set. So this is here to decide a lot of it.
This is not a great matchup for the Ganon here. Excited to see how SNHU approaches this time.
Worth noting, while this set is going on, a little bit for those of you that are here to watch SNHU Yellow as they played later tonight versus Bryant and Stratton College, they will be hopping in midway through their set, since this one has just been a little bit more of a banger than we expected. Has been going on for quite a bit. We wanted to make sure we caught the tail end of this one for sure. So if you're here for that, don't worry, it'll be right on after this set is decided. But Crust starting to build up some big damage already on Suji. Pretty significant life lead here.
Russ is turning it up right now. I have to imagine that he wants to run it back after that last game.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of between these two. These matchup has been pretty close between these two. Definitely Suji has been stepping it up as Ganondorf, and definitely a lot more of a Ganondorf guy that's a lot more mastery than you might expect to see on this character in a lot of scenarios here. But Crust has been doing a great job of just building up so much damage, and he'll be able to set him off with a pretty big stuff there. Suji goes down a stock, and Crust holds on. So that third one, still just 30% left.
Yeah, I mean, into Ganon now, that's 30% is kill percent. You know, you got to be very careful with those smash attacks. They're hard to hit for the Ganon, but if they do, you're getting sent flying.
Yeah, you cannot be you cannot be caught lacking around Ganondorf, because he will just hit you with a random move out of nowhere that will just kill you.
Yeah,
and that's something that you really, really got to worry about here. But Crust starting to move back in, starting to try and establish a little bit more screen space, starting to tack on some more damage through this harassment. Gets to throw him back up once again. Now off towards the ledge. That reflector is sending him even further back. Not going to be able to stuff him this time. Enough forced to come right back up. No, going to get spiked. Almost a scary situation, but hanging on just fine. Suji now down here will get stuffed again, and now it's going to be Crust who's off the side here and will barely not be able to come back up.
I mean, you can hear it from the. I don't know if it came through on cast, but we got a lot of that's fines, and I absolutely agree with that. Suji's at 140 right now. This is incredibly dangerous. One wrong move can get him sent into the nearest blast zone.
Yeah, this is not a situation where you can really feel comfortable with Suji even after that stock comes out for Crust. He's playing a little bit over ambitious, but Suji just hanging on here, will get punished for that one, and Mike gets sent off the edge. He will down to the final stock for Suji, a 1-on-1 now. Definitely a good thing for both sides here to make sure that this game does not end up too one-sided, although I think both players would definitely love for that to be the case.
This stock is going to be so important, I think, to sort of set the momentum and the pace of the next couple games. And the rest of this set, to be honest, whoever wins this is going to be, you know, in the driver's seat going into next game. And if that continues to translate as it did last game, that can be incredibly dangerous.
Crust starting to build up some damage, tacking it on. That's a lot of damage he built up in just a little bit there, but he's going to get hit by the side B once again. Or the up B, rather, as he builds up. And now a huge kick comes out and just boots Crust out off the side. Suji hangs on with just a stock left.
Very, very good effort from Crust, though. Got to be happy with that. I mean, get 2 stocks and really brings that last one to the very limit. That interaction off the left side of stage there, I thought for sure. I thought for sure that Suji was going down.
Suji has just kind of proven himself to be very much like a scary Ganon player, right? You know, he is not someone who – he's not the Ganon player that just gets rolled over.
Yeah.
And that is – if you are kind of used to fighting Ganon players who just get rolled over, that can be a very shocking thing to just suddenly be playing against right there.
Yeah, I mean, we laugh and joke, but those niche picks do have their value insofar as they are niche. And like, you know, even the best players don't get a ton of experience into really strong, good, solid Ganons.
Especially in a game like Smash, where the netcode is like you don't really want to play Smash online if you can avoid it, you know.
Yeah.
So you don't run into a lot of situations where you just be like, oh, there's a really good player who plays like X character that lives on the other end of the country. Let me fight him real quick. Let me 1v1 him. Let me learn the character. Let me learn the matchup. And so you're really limited to just by like who lives in your area.
Yeah.
And who plays what characters in your area? Like, who's the best character in your area? And that's why there's so many, like, pocket metas in Smash, is because, like, oh, well, in New York Smash, this character is really good because the person who plays him is just really good, and no one else plays the character who counters him. So you get situations like that happen quite a lot in Smash Bros. And so, like we said, those niche characters can just really pop up out of nowhere and just be incredibly effective.
Yeah. I mean, at least for SNHU, whenever that Ganon has come in, the stocks have not ended up spiraling,
Yeah.
so to speak. It's been fairly close. And while I do think that first game, those first 3 stocks, were very, very important, and will be incredibly important going forward, so as to sort of set the pace. This is not at all insurmountable. There's so much wiggle room right now that it's not a huge deal. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm just hoping Suji does not take a million years to drop off the ledge. I heard some complaints.
Yeah, that was, I mean, definitely a situation where you get a little bit frustrated by that for sure. But
well, especially because I think the complaint coming from some of the I believe teammates or other Smash players within the arena. Yeah, fellow Smash players, as Prod is telling me right now, was that he stalled for long enough for where the platforms began to move away.
Yeah. I definitely, I mean, something like that kind of feels like it can be a little bit underhanded, but I think it's always best to just kind of assume, like, maybe he didn't realize that would happen. So definitely, I mean, going forward here, hopefully that doesn't happen again, but it will be, I mean, Suji's down to his last stock at the moment, right? That is like you said, an insurmountable difference. That is not an insurmountable difference.
I was gonna say
that is
not
one
what I
stock
said.
is, you might as well just tune out now. The game's basically over now. That is a very minor difference. You'll see at the end of most of these games, people are left with 2 stocks left anyway. It's very rarely goes down to the final 1-on-1, and so this is a situation where this is SNHU, a small road bump, but they could easily kind of get through this, even things up, and then start from there. Start from your third player on, and then it's really going to come down for both SNHU and the Gaels. I think how it's been in these last few sets is who's on anchor, who's actually up to just really weigh this thing down and get it done, clean it up.
Yeah, every team needs a rock.
Yeah,
you know, good old reliable rock. They're always consistent, always able to run it back when they need to. You know, maybe not the flashiest player in the game, but always able to be that great presence, not just in game but outside of it as well.
Having a player that is just consistent is so nice because the hardest thing in these games is consistency. You know, everyone has good days, everyone has bad days, but making sure that the difference between your good days and bad days isn't that big is it's a trait that comes with a lot of time invested in the game, and a lot of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not hard to be consistently bad. It's very hard to be consistently good.
I feel like it is kind of hard to be like to have your consistently bad and your consistently good near each other.
Yeah.
Like
that is difficult
for a lot of people. You know, it's like even if you're kind of low skilled at a game, your consistently bad will still be way worse than your consistently good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just like reining those in. You know, even if it's like, oh well, their consistent level that they play at usually might be worse than these other players when they're really popping off, but they will always play at that level, and they will always be there and give you exactly what you expect. And in a situation like this, that's what you need.
Yeah, like those consistent players are going to be the ones that really like. I'm hearing some yelling here.
Some popping off in the
some
arena.
Popping off, yeah. Those consistent players are going to be the ones to really lead the way. In close sets like this one.
They're the backbone of the team. They make up the kind of foundation of it. And although the other players might get a little bit more cheer for being flashier or being, you know, they've got the big plays. They're having a great day, things like that. It's the players who always show up and always play at that at that level that is asked of them, those are the players that really kind of anchor things down.
Yeah, I think those type of players need a little more support widely. All the flashy players get all the hype, and I get it. It looks really cool, but those players that are so consistent all the time have a different skill set
Yeah.
that they're able to tap into that not a lot of players have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I 100% agree. And as we get ready to go into this next set that's going to come up here, I mean, it is Suji still in there with one stock left, so it's going to be very hard for him. But he has been a very consistent player. I would be surprised if he isn't even able to find one stock, right? And if he does find a stock, that is so fantastic for Queen's Gale. It's really up to SNHU just to try and do this as cleanly as possible. And for Quackers, who's currently up at the desk, he's going to be the next one going in versus Suji. That is a great spot to be in because you've got the versatility, you've got so many options that you can play into Ganondorf. You can really choose the pace of the game as Pokemon Trainer, and that is what's really going to allow SNHU to kind of get the upper hand in this match. Aside from only having to go through one stock.
No, the one stock doesn't matter. Suji has 50 million stocks.
Yeah.
All the time in the world on the clock. Let's see if he's going to use all the time in the world on the clock. But yeah, that the ability to be so versatile on this Pokemon Trainer. Okay, that's one.
One more. Gets the footstool to come out, but it's going to go straight off the edge this time. Suji now stepping into the ring. One stock left versus Quackers. 3 versus 1 will start to go in right away, but Quackers hanging on. Starting to try and build some damage. Taking center stage. This is a big situation for him, but there's a lot of damage that comes out here. And I mean, it's a very dangerous spot to be in right now. I'd say he's already almost within kill range. Definitely is now for Ganondorf, trying to get right back up. That 2-frame, but not going to hit as Quacker starts to get back up with that grab. Comes through, and now 85%.
Yeah, is that Volcano Kick the only 2-frame? Because if so, that's I get it, but man, that's probably not going to hit.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really hard to time there for Ganon. And so, I mean, we might see him just kind of play back a little bit on these ledges a little bit more. We'll be able to get a grab here onto Quackers. Not going to be anywhere close to a kill throw, but just trying to zone him out here in case he tries to jump up here. Hits a smash into his garden. We'll be able to take a stock.
Yeah, I was just going to say I kind of expected the Charizard swap a little sooner, but I suppose it all depends on how comfortable you are on the individual Pokemon there. The downside, the drawback of that versatility is that functionally, to play Pokemon Trainer well, you have to learn 3 entirely separate characters.
Quackers is down 2 stocks now. Zero Suji still hanging on to 65%. He's just been running at him, throwing the command grab, throwing the kick, throwing the command grab, throwing the kick, and Quackers finally be able to close out this set, but man, did that hurt.
Yeah, that is more damage than you would like to take if you're Quackers, but realistically, you can't dwell on that. That's not like
keep moving forward.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is not productive to dwell on what went wrong for too long. Obviously, learn from it, but that comes after this game.
Yeah, it's gonna come down.
Suji is done.
Yeah,
no more Ganondorf.
He's out. Like finally that Ganondorf, that problem Ganondorf is out of the situation. Now it's the rest of the Gaels that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
And for Quackers, he might only have 1 stock left, but he just his goal here is just to make this try and hurt as much as he can, because with 1 stock it's going to be so hard to win a match like this. But he can definitely, like Suji just did, really make it hurt, and he's got to try and equalize this as much as he can.
Absolutely, and I think Pokemon Trainer is one of those characters that can really draw out those singular stocks to make it really, really sting. That Charizard, again, not the strongest of the trio, probably the worst of the trio, but once you get a character into those high percentages, or even those medium percentages, to be completely honest, a lot of those hits will just send you flying, especially with how conservative Quackers is probably going to be playing that up B out of shield on Charizard.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really incredible option for when you have to play those slow. You miss a hit on shield and you're going up.
Yeah, Charizard's definitely a nice kind of anchor. It's almost like, you look at crew battles, you have like your starter, your middle players, and your anchor. Pokemon Trader is kind of similar in that regard because you do have like your starter to kind of scout out the matchup, play forward, try and get that opening damage in as much as you can. Yeah, your middle players, Ivysaur comes out, just a consistent character, really solid, great frame data, great hitboxes, just overall pretty good character to deal with things. And then when things start to get really bad, like mission critical moment, you pull out the Charizard, you throw out a Flare Blitz or two, you ball, you find a kill maybe.
Yeah, I'm a big Flare Blitz enjoyer personally.
I think everyone would like to say that they're not a Flare Blitz enjoyer, but I think deep down in here, it's nice to see you hit the button and big kill move goes out, number goes up on screen, everything's right in the world.
Yeah, anybody that says that they don't like Flare Blitz is a liar.
It's a bad move, I like.
We are Evolved Caveman. That is a big dragon with a lot of fire, and it does a lot of damage.
We were just talking about how throwing rock is, or every team needs that rock that they can always just throw out there. And as a Evolved Caveman myself, I love throwing rock all the time. It always works out for me.
Throwing rock, starting fire, Flare Blitz.
Yeah.
If Pokemon Trainer Charizard still had that Rock Smash, this would be an entirely different game. Entirely different ballgame.
My tier list has got to be like throwing rock, right, and then you got like starting fire. Starting fire is kind of crazy, and then you got Flare Blitz. I think it's like in order of my caveman brain.
Yeah, Flare Blitz is big fire. I said with Dragon, I'm a liar. Charizard's a flying type. Charizard's fire.
He's not a dragon. Come on. He should be.
No final smashes. So,
let's see the Charizard X come out here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we need. Let's turn on the final smash meter. See, get things a little bit goofy right now.
All I'm saying, FS meter is sick.
We've seen the Diddy come out from Queen's Gaels here versus these final stock on Quackers. It's going to be an interesting matchup here for sure because I think Diddy's got a lot of room to really control the pace of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if I've made my thoughts clear on playing lame, but I'm not, of the characters that I would like to play, they're very fun in like online duos. Mm-hmm. When you're playing with a buddy and just the school bus just dropped off some kids and you want to bust out the Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
I know a couple of my roommates that they like that Diddy Kong Inkling combo. I can see the disappointment in your eyes.
Yeah.
I can tell you who later if you want to.
I can make a few educated guesses. I can make a few educated guesses on who.
But it's going to be really interesting to see how the Pokemon Trainer plays into this. I think Squirtle is going to get shut down a lot by those banana peels. Just so much pressure is going to come out for those. But if you can get a stock or two off of this Diddy Kong, that's going to be so huge going forward.
Yeah, that banana is going to buy so much room on stage, but it's going to be up to Jackson here to actually be able to close out this game without taking too much damage. It's very much, ball kind of in his court right now, but Quacker's is going to be the one who's going to try and he's a cornered animal right now. Make it hurt as much as possible. Go out with a fight. Maybe even, if he really finds himself in a great situation, then we can talk about winning this game. But at the moment, he just needs to try and take some stocks off the Gaels.
Very interesting. We see Quackers come out on the Ivysaur instead of the Squirtle there. And I think that leads into the banana peel pressure. You don't want to play Squirtle into that, necessarily speaking.
Yeah, just getting zoned out there is definitely not something you want to have. And just taking free damage on Squirtle, also not great. Ivysaur is able to control a lot of space with the moves that he does have in his projectiles, which we're seeing a little bit of that come out right now, especially around the ledge just like that as Jackson throws out that banana. Quack's going to throw out that Nair as well as just chasing on the down throw. A good parry comes out, but just going to keep him safe, not going to allow him to actually punish anything, but a fantastic recovery is going to come right back in and do a lot of damage to Quackers.
Even better DI, though. Now we got that Charizard coming out. I want to see it. I'm waiting for the Flare Blitz. If nothing else, that'll get a quick and easy kill.
Like you said, shield is so low right now.
If you're Quackers, like you said, you're a cornered animal right now. You gotta make something happen here.
Oh, he slipped on the banana peel. That is unfortunate. An unfortunate combo comes out there. Quacker's going to get out there as the Gaels continue to build up some momentum here. They're now 3 stocks up, a full player ahead, and for the Gaels, this is a fantastic situation.
Yeah, I think this Diddy Kong Jackson is kind of that really consistent player that we that we've been you know, glorifying and putting on the pedestal, so to speak. You know, all of you know, Queen's Gaels, I'm very impressed with how they've been able to stay so consistent after that first set, which was kind of, you know, it went how it went.
Yes.
But they've really been able to run it back and just stay in a good headspace and be able to play in such a way that you know, that first game doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, it's gonna come down really to just keeping that mental up and just staying in the right headspace, staying confident, staying, you know, positive mental attitude, all of that. Just keep it rolling, keep it going forward. Don't dwell on like, oh, we're this many stocks behind. Just try and play the best that you can. Try and play the cleanest Smash that you have ever played.
Yeah.
And you know, if you play well, then this lead will just make itself back up.
Yep. Speaking of consistent players, I'm hearing word that Steven coming in, probably the consistent player for SNHU right now.
Yeah.
Been able to show at all times that he's able to take some great stocks, and if anyone is going to be able to take this lead back right now, I think it's Steven.
Yeah, he has been able to do a lot more, you know, right off of the rip. And so coming in now, he's got an idea who he's playing against. He's had plenty of time to watch them play, see what they're doing. He's seen so many matches with Jackson at this point. Now that we're in the 3rd game of the night so far, so it has just been, these players all are very, very, you know, familiar with each other at the moment. They've got a good idea of what makes each other tick. And for Steven, I think that's going to give him another layer to kind of, he's been a very solid player, but now he's got to be a very solid player that is going to be able to exploit these things that they've been able to pick up on the Gaels roster. And we'll go ahead and hop into game here. Diddy Kong versus Mario. Both sides 3 stocks tall, but SNHU is 3 stocks down. A lot of ground to make up here. Let's go ahead and get started.
I think you're going to look for some silly maneuvers, especially with that down B. Just getting off stage so that Diddy can't set up these banana peels. That's going to be really big to stop that, you know, zoning potential of Diddy here. That's really been what's slowed Steven down in this matchup in the past.
Steven taking some damage there as Jackson starts to move in. He has center stage right now, Steven. Going to fire back with that rapid jab, just trying to control space. We'll get thrown right back out, but that spin comes through, and now the up tilt comes up, and it's going to be Jackson has to try and land into Steven, but Steven gets sent off the edge now in disadvantage. A banana peel hits, and a combo comes out, but not going to be too much that comes through. Stage spike will come after them. Steven's at 122%, have a chance to build up some percentage here, build up some of this advantage. He's really looking forward, but goes just a little bit too high and suffers.
Yeah, a little greedy there. It's a really unfortunate loss of the stock there. That sequence was a little awkward when that flood did not send horizontally, as I assume Steven expected it to, but instead shot him up like he was in a rocket. From there, you kind of have to reevaluate your entire game plan. Still, though, Jackson on the Diddy Kong at 120 right now. One good move is going to be enough to get this game back to, you know, even stocks.
He's doing a great job of building up a lot of percentage right now, and a big stuff comes out, but he's going to be able to get right back up through to Steven still, 87%. Jackson holding on. He's very deep into this stock. It's up to Steven to just try and get this last hit in, but Jackson's controlling so much space. This banana peel is going to get right up into it, and Steven's now down 2 stocks.
This banana peel is just putting in so much work.
There we go.
There we go.
Able to find a stock there off of Jackson. Finally able to clinch that one out. Steven now he's a little bit into his last stock, but he's got to make up some ground here. Got to deal with this stock lead that Jackson has. He's 1 full stock up. Steven needs to start to build up some value here, and he will be able to hit that stage spike there at the end. Just trying to build up some damage.
Yeah, that's a good little combo to sort of stop the bleeding and get your own momentum. This is huge.
Barely going to miss there as Jackson recovers back on a stage. Steven has built up a good bit of damage here. He just needs to try and cash out at this point. He's getting to the point where he's going to be able to at any second. Good block there, not able to get the punish, but Jackson goes back in and up he goes out just to build up even more damage. Steven's caught on the platform. That's to try and land into Jackson. He's going to eat some damage for it. He gets caught on the platform once again. They're so brutal, but just can't get quite where he needs to apply some pressure.
That last move is always the hardest one to hit. That, you know, and I think a lot of the time you just start to get into your own head. You know they're at kill percent. Oh my goodness, what a spike.
Relentless. Jackson continuing to just go in, only lost a stock right there. SNHU down to their final player, final 3 stocks. Golden Gaels, they've still got a good bit there. They've got 8 stocks left in the pool.
There's a very solid buffer here for Golden Gaels. But you can't say that this is not over. It's not over till the fat lady sings type deal. And I don't hear any singing right now.
This is definitely, you know, it's getting down to the wire, but this game is not over yet as Insignia sits down in the chair here, about to go in versus this Diddy Kong, a scary matchup. You know,
I will say, I heard some murmurs that we will not be seeing Corrin.
Well, if we see a Bowser, then
I cannot confirm that this is the plan. This is the rollout. But that is what I've been.
Okay.
That is what I heard being yelled across the air.
I'm kind of excited to see that then, if we do end up seeing that, because that's going to be, you know, just once again having that player switch between characters can change up so much.
Yeah, because then your download is corrupt.
Yeah. You got to restart.
Yeah, you got nothing. You like Windows update.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Everything broke
didn't work.
now.
Didn't work. Blue screen. And now you got to run it back. But now, if you're Insignia, you've seen Jackson time and time again. They might not have seen your Bowser, and if they have, it's been through VODs.
Yeah.
And you know, as helpful as VODs are, I can tell you from experience that they do not beat practical, like, one-on-one, mano-y-mano.
They help you get that knowledge, but how to apply that knowledge is a completely different beast.
Exactly. And I think that's where swapping off that Corrin potentially could be so strong in sort of just gumming up the works.
You get that element of surprise back, that element of like, oh, they don't know exactly how I play. You know, even if you are, a high up player in your state, even if you're a little bit notorious here, you know, Queens Gaels, you know, they're not a New Hampshire college. You know, they might not be that familiar, but we are going to see the Bowser come out to anchor things down. The final 3 stocks of SNHU, the last hope for tonight for SNHU Blue. Insignia here. The fight against Jackson has 8 stocks to burn through, a long way to the top. I mean, it's definitely a trip that he's made before.
Yeah. Insignia from the rumblings that I've heard, despite the banter from the crowd at the time, incredible player. And I've heard great things about this Bowser. That Corrin on its own was incredibly impressive, but
yeah, he is definitely a notorious player to work with. And you're seeing already just so much damage building up for Jackson at the moment. Insignia starting to take some damage himself as Jackson moves up, tries to take center space, but holding on to that, getting up onto this upper platform here, trying to drop down onto Jackson, trying to get this jump in. We'll be able to get the grab into the Bowser bomb, slips on the banana, but that's okay. He's already done enough damage as is, and a big straight punch to take him further out as cannot get back up, finds the kill, takes a stock off Jackson. Insignia at 80%, needs to hold on tight now. 90, cannot let Jackson start to build up even more ground. He's going to start to already. He's got him up to 70%.
The scary thing, I've been wanting to say this for, you know, a quick second here, but the scary thing with Bowser is clean. First of all, absolutely spotless.
Yeah.
Incredibly clean. The scary thing about playing into a heavyweight like Bowser as Diddy Kong is that the damage you do matters less.
Yes.
because you are inherently Bowser's kill percent is higher. Conversely, Diddy Kong's kill percent is a lot lower, particularly into that Bowser, whose moves have so much knockback.
Yeah.
Um,
You were like a ragdoll getting flung around as Diddy Kong. It is so tough for him to stay alive, and Bowser is just, I mean, is effortless. Like Diddy Kong hits him with his biggest attack, and Bowser barely moves at all.
Yeah.
It is so tough for a super lightweight character like that to kill a super heavyweight like Bowser.
yeah, it's like in the trailer. Like you got to throw a lot of snowballs to take down a King Bowser. You
Yeah.
know, and those snowballs were not thrown, at least not adequately, by Jackson. And I think Jackson is really that stalwart defense. If Insignia is able to get the momentum off this game could turn in an instant.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we'll see the Gaels are sending in a Pokemon trainer, the same one that we saw before, of course. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, for Bowser, I feel like you see that Squirtle, you are just swinging. You are
You're
yeah.
rubbing your hands together like
That is like, oh, Squirtle, I hit him twice, he's at 60%,
die. Fresh meat.
Yeah, it is. That is great. But once you start getting into Ivysaur and Charizard, you know those are to get a little bit harder to kill. And for Bowser, I think that could be a little bit of a problem, especially. But Squirtle, I mean, he's a big combo character. I think if he's really able to get into Bowser, it'd be a big thing there. But we'll see how much that tough guy armor from Bowser protects him from a lot of the lighter, faster hits from Squirtle.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play so careful on that Squirtle though into Bowser,